But anyways, it's the fourth match, Kane versus CM Punk, and CM Punk ends up being the winner via countout. Kane basically goes to the outside, CM Punk throws a couple moves on him, and then Kane kind of lies there, and CM Punk goes back into the ring. Referee counts to 10, you know the rest, count out, CM Punk wins. Then it gets pretty interesting after the match. Kane starts throwing chairs in the ring, he goes crazy, and then he does a few moves on CM Punk, and I think he's about to do his finisher or excuse me, something to hurt CM Punk. And then Batista comes out into the ring, you know, little surprise, a little surprise, not really much, but Batista comes out, saves CM Punk, but then CM Punk tells him kind of, I don't need your help and stuff like that, and then he pushes Batista, which is a mistake. Batista spine busters him, so that's pretty good. It kind of ignites. I'm not sure who they're trying to pass off as a heel, because really, they're both faces, in my opinion, really big faces. I mean, Batista probably gets cheered a little more than Punk, but, you know, I think maybe they're trying to, I don't know, face against face, basically. So, that should be, hopefully it's a good matchup going into the Great American Bash. And then the fifth match, so we have a match right after this, Paul London versus Chris Jericho with, of course, Lance Cade at Chris Jericho's side. And, you know, at this point, we've seen throughout the night Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels being up on each other, so of course Chris Jericho wants Lance Cade to watch out for Shawn Michaels, so Lance Cade gets a chair from outside the ring and kind of patrols around the ring while Chris Jericho has his match. Chris Jericho's winner via Walls of Jericho, not much of a surprise that he's the winner, but it would be kind of nice if they kind of started pushing London and Kendrick. I think Kendrick is still signed, someone correct me if he's not, but you know, I like Paul London probably more than Jericho personally, but that's just personally. But, so Chris Jericho wins, and then after the match, Shawn Michaels, of course, he comes out down the ramp, though, and you know, so, I can't really, I'm sorry, I saw this last night in my mind, so I'm trying to go through. I can't really remember what kind of happened, so someone fill me in on that, what exactly happened when he came out. I think he just started he started speaking to them, and one thing I want to say about Shawn Michaels, you know, the way he's been talking lately, I think he's starting to get really gruff on the mic, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but I liked it better when he was in his D-Generation X phase, you know, where he was more wild and, you know, he was more, I don't know, just, what's the word I'm looking for? He was, you know, more, playful and stuff. Now he's too gruff for me. He slurs some of his words. I don't know, I'm just not digging the whole kind of thing, but I'll always pull for Shawn Michaels no matter what. So, that happens, and then backstage after that we have, Jamie Noble and Layla. And, you know, Jamie Noble's still trying to build up his whole thing where he can take on anyone in the locker room. And then Snitsky comes, and so Jamie Noble kind of eventually says, hey, I'm going to beat you up. And then he takes him and Layla and Snitsky, and they all go down to the ring. And then Jamie Noble basically gets the shit beat out of him, as is expected. And then Layla kind of, you know, shrugs anything. She shrugs it off, and so Jamie Noble is out. Then we have our main event, which, no surprise, is Crime Time and Cena versus JBL and the World Tag Team Champions. So, this is not a bad match. It didn't really end the way I wanted it to, and there's a segment after I'll get to in a little bit that is really kind of ridiculous, really ridiculous. But anyways, Cena doesn't really get at JBL this whole match, and he's really grounded for a good part of the match. It's mostly focuses on JTG and Shad, and JTG, of course, it's grounded, then the faces come back. But the winners are Crime Time and Cena via DQ, because actually I think it might be while Cena's in the ring. Oh yeah, Cena's in the ring. He has a STFU on, I think it was Cody Rhodes. And then JBL just comes in with a big boot and boots Cena right in the face. And then he kind of starts running, and Cena follows him. And so now I'm going to get to the segment. Now they have an after-match thing where Cena goes jibble hunting, and JBL hunting, haha. And so Cena follows JBL into the parking lot, which kind of, you know, they're trying to build up, you know, what's going to happen in the Great American Bash, which is the parking lot brawl. And so then JBL smashes Cena in the head with some kind of tool, foreign object, and I guess knocks Cena out. And so then he puts him against the car. JBL puts Cena against the car, and then JBL gets in his own car, and get this, he rams the car into the car where Cena was supposedly at, but I guess you could say they're doing it a clever way, but not really, because he knew it was going to happen. The camera is JBL, say JBL's coming from this direction, and Cena's right here. They kind of cut off the part where Cena's still laying against the car, and JBL just hits it. So, obviously they're not going to show him actually hitting Cena, because that would be, he'd really get injured, possibly. It looks like, from the way, if they're trying to pass off like JBL really hit Cena, he'd be dead, okay? He'd just be completely squashed, but that's how they're trying to pass it off, as Cena, as JBL, really comes where Cena's laying against the car and just bashes him in. So, it's kind of like how they were, except they did a better job with the Vince McMahon when his car blew up. They did a better job with that. That actually looked more real, if that makes any sense. But the way they did it with Cena, it was just kind of ridiculous. I'm like, why have him, let him brawl a little bit? That's fine, no problem with that. Let him brawl a little bit in the parking lot. But why do this other thing where JBL basically kills Cena? I mean, if they're gonna have Cena come back from this next week, and they're trying to still interweave it within a kayfabe story, they're out of luck, because in reality, if that happens, Cena would be dead. But that's what happens. So he just smashes into Cena. But it'll be interesting to see, I guess, how this fuels their match, if that's possible, with Cena basically getting broken in half. So, I mean, that's basically Monday Night Raw. I read a comment from someone who said that they like it better with the no manager, situation, and I agree. For me personally, Raw has been getting, it is better with the no manager situation, I agree, but for me personally, Raw has been getting very, it's not very exciting for me. This one was more tolerable because I actually watched the whole thing without, turning it off or getting bored as I did last week. But, I'm just really not digging all these backstage segments. That the storylines were more entertaining, but, they're really, a lot of the characters now are flat. Cena's character, very flat, as a lot of people have pointed out for years. I guess I'm just now getting into that. His character is very flat, one-sided. A lot of the good heels are gone. You got JBL's a big heel right now, I guess, because Randy Orton's out. And then, you have some monster heels, but really too many faces. I mean, you had, like in the Fatal 4, you had Kane, Batista, CM Punk, Cena, all faces. I mean, I guess you could say Kane maybe is a little bit of a heel, but really he still gets a lot of fan cheering, so I'd still call him a face. So, I really hope they bring in someone for that. I really hope they continue to move along the Kane storyline, and I hope it's good. A lot of people were saying, bring Paul Bearer back, and I agree, that'd be a great thing to do. And on his website, I think, last time I looked, he said he hasn't said yes or no yet, so, there's a possibility he could be coming back. And also further the no manager storyline, maybe bringing in a general manager, bring in a heel general manager, okay? Because SmackDown is a heel and a general manager, and it was working okay for a while, but Raw desperately needs more heels. So bring in a heel general manager. William Regal's suspension might be up soon, so maybe, hopefully, he'll come back and be a heel, because, he was an okay heel. I enjoyed it. So, I hope Raw gets a little bit better, but I still am enjoying it. And other than that, just look for my Great American Bash predictions. I'll probably do it later this week, or maybe Saturday. Probably Saturday, Friday or Saturday, I'll try to do that. And then hopefully I'll have the Great American Bash review. Hopefully I'll be able to see it again, or a pay-per-view again. So other than that, comments, good or bad, are always appreciated. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.